I'm standing on the spot where a preacher was arrested for sharing the gospel. Now we're taking his case to the Supreme Court. This is the amphitheater in Brandon, Mississippi. It is a cultural center for concerts and festivals and whatnot. People come from all over this region to activities here, and that's the focal point of the case that's going to the U.S. Supreme Court very soon now. Hi, I'm Stuart Shepard, and this is First Liberty Live. I've got with me our attorney, Nate Kellum, as well as our client, Gabe Olivier. Hi, Nate. Hi, Gabe.
Hey there.
Hello.
Yeah, now this centers around Gabe, who likes sharing the gospel on the street, and that's why you were there that day. Tell me what happened.
Yeah, so we, as we normally do, like to pick a public sidewalk somewhere or a public forum to be able to share about our religious beliefs. We believe that Jesus Christ came to save men from sin. And so just like we do any other day, we were there in Brandon at the amphitheater location that day sharing the gospel with folks, and only to be accosted by a city ordinance that says that we cannot in fact do those things, and it ultimately led to my arrest.
And you call yourself a street preacher, and most people have an impression of that. The way you go about it, though, is very kindly. I mean, I've seen you on the street working with people. You're very gracious about the way you approach it.
Yeah, sure. I've learned that the Lord has been very patient with me when I was in rebellion against Him, and I've learned I need to be more patient towards other people and display the gospel in such a way as to not compromise the message of it, but share with them that God is a God of love and mercy, and that there's great mercy to be found at the seat of Christ.
So you're at the amphitheater. People are there for a concert or something, I imagine. And you picked out a spot where a lot of people are walking by, right?
Absolutely. It's one of our main goals is to go to places that are heavily populated areas or events that have lots of people going to them. And this amphitheater has been a source of a good number of large crowds. And so that's our goal, is to try to reach as many people as we can.
But then the police said, oh, you can have your free speech, but...
But you have to exercise it about 100 yards down the sidewalk at what was determined to be a designated protest zone. It was a spray-painted box on a sidewalk that said you have to stand here in this 10 by 10 box, and that's where you're allowed to have your free speech.
How many people were walking by that box?
Very few, if any. There was a parking lot nearby, but thanks to the ordinance, we weren't even able to have our voice heard over 100 feet from that location, so it would have completely destroyed our ability to minister.
So it wasn't a free speech zone so much as it was a shut up and be quiet, stand over here in a corner zone.
That's correct. It was your message of the gospel is not welcome here.
Now, you were arrested, they cuffed you, and then you decided, you know what, I want to move on. I'll challenge the ordinance as we go along, but for now I'm going to plead how? What did you do?
Yeah, I decided to plead no contest under advice from my lawyer at the time and go ahead and pay the fine and move along. It was not an admission of guilt, as I don't believe to this day that I did anything wrong, but it was a desire to want to go ahead and move forward with a civil suit.
And then you went to court and...
Found out very quickly that I was not going to be able to have my day in court, thanks to some legal maneuvering.
Describe that for me from a layman perspective. You're not an attorney, but as it was explained to you, it probably had to be explained a few times, right?
Yeah, quite a few times, because I was not aware of this. I've had a few interactions with judges before, and yet this was completely new to me. But basically, I was informed that I was not entitled to my day in court, and my suit would be thrown out because I was arrested but not incarcerated. That was completely foreign to me.
Now, there's a reason that I brought Nate along. It's because I don't understand this either. It makes no sense to me. So, Nate, explain what's broken in the law that put Gabe in this situation.
Well, simply it denies him his day in court. It denies him his access to justice because they have this legal doctrine that really is designed for prisoners. It's designed for folks who have been, they're sitting around in a prison cell. They're thinking, hey, I think things went wrong in my trial. I want to challenge what happened. I want to challenge my guilty verdict. I want to challenge my sentence. And what the legal doctrine is, well, if you're a prisoner in that type of situation, there's something called a habeas corpus. That we don't want to clog up really the federal court system with a lot of lawsuits regarding this type of thing. So we have designed a particular system for you called a habeas corpus. Well, the problem is he was never a prisoner. And also he's seeking relief. He's not trying to revisit what happened as far as what happened on that day. He wants to go out there tomorrow and the day after that, and the day after that. So he's seeking future relief.
Yeah.
So this is a doctrine that really has no applicability, or it should not have had any applicability to Gabe, and yet it was, and that's why we're pursuing this to the Supreme Court.
And the impression I get is, even though it's not something most people think about or talk about, he's not the only one, right? There are people all over the country who are running into this and don't know what to do.
Yeah, there's a misapplication of the same doctrine, and so there's a great misunderstanding. What is this doctrine about? Is it limited for individuals who are in prison? Is it limited for things when people are trying to essentially overturn what happened with a state court judgment? Or can people like Gabe, who want to go out there again, who want to be able to share their beliefs, who want to be able to exercise their rights, should they have their day in court? And that's what's before the Supreme Court.
And we've got a day in court, and it is that day at the Supreme Court coming up December 3rd. What are we asking the justices to do on December 3rd?
We're asking them to overrule this decision so that Gabe, we can go back really from the start, to go back to the beginning.
So if we win, he gets to start his case, right?
That's exactly right. And so far, we're -0.
Yeah. So again, let's talk about what's going to happen at the Supreme Court. Explain for me what's going to happen on that day. Who's arguing it, and what's the case we're going to make?
It's our co-counsel, Allison Hull, with the great law firm of Gibson Dunn, and they're going to be arguing the case along with us. And Allison will be fielding the questions from the Supreme Court justices at oral argument about these particular issues. Should this legal doctrine be used to bar people like Gabe from being able to have their access to federal court?
Yeah. What's your encouragement to Gabe as he goes through this? That's a big day. This is a very big deal.
Hang in there, brother. I mean, that's really, and that's been my message for a long time here, because we're going on 5 years, and so just continue to hang in there, because we know we're on the right side of this. We just need the courts to catch up.
Yeah. Gabe, what's it like working with Nate and First Liberty? What's your experience been like?
It's been incredible working with Nate and First Liberty. Nate specifically, he's a brother in the Lord, and he also, I find, understands the importance of free speech. He understands that the extension of his job is not just to try to mitigate the consequences of me getting arrested, but to help pursue this all the way, even all the way to the Supreme Court, so I can have my rights established and others can have the same. First Liberty has been a tremendous blessing to me in helping me try to get justice in this case. I can tell that their heart is for the Lord, and their heart is for constitutional freedoms that we have been given and would like to see continue.
You will never get a bill from us. You're probably glad to hear that. I don't think it would be a surprise otherwise. But that's part of our model, is our clients never get a bill. We do this as a nonprofit to make sure that your cases like yours get heard at the highest level. I want to give you a chance just to express, I know you have a heart of gratitude. I want to give you a chance to express that to the folks who make this possible.
Absolutely. And we just want to say thank you to all those who are doing it, because at the end of the day, the Lord has all given us different things to be responsible for. Some He's given me a talent of being able to lift up my voice and preach and go forth with boldness. Others He's given finances in order to help bless things like this. And so I'm always very grateful when I see people that are willing to give of themselves, whether it's their time, their money, or their talents, and to see things like this advance. Because it's even though I'm just a nobody from Mississippi, this is a big case. This is a big deal that affects a lot of people.
And something I appreciate about you is, you hope to win, but the larger victory is what you're really looking for. This could help out a lot of people.
Absolutely. I believe as a Christian and as an American citizen, and I consider both of those to be important, I have an obligation to do my part to make sure that those who come after me are able to have the right to preach. There's a lot of places I go to and preach today because of the sacrifices of faithful preachers who have come before me, that have labored in the court system tirelessly to make sure I have the ability to be on that sidewalk. And so I want to pass that down to those who come after me.
Anything else you want to share before I let you go?
I just want to say thank you for, again, all the donors that are helping us, First Liberty for representing me, for my friend Nate here to stand with me through this, and just blessed to have an opportunity to go before the Supreme Court and see what happens.
I'm really looking forward to that day. We're going to be doing a live stream from the steps in front of the court on December 3rd, so keep an eye on firstliberty.org. All the information will be there. You can also, if you subscribe to our insider newsletter, we'll give you updates on that. It'll be on our YouTube YouTube channel, our Facebook channel, that kind of thing, if you want to watch it. But they'll get to go inside. We moved inside here because it's so cold. We had a cold front blow through Mississippi yesterday, and it's too cold for us to be outside. We wanted to be out at the amphitheater, but we'll be here instead. But on that day, we'll be in the cold, braving the cold, outside the Supreme Court, talking while they're inside, listening to the argument and hearing how it goes. And then we'll also have another live stream after the argument on that day to tell you how it went, to talk about what we heard the justices say and what they ask about. So again, keep an eye out. That'll be on firstlibertylive.com. First Liberty, we're the religious freedom people.